Barbadian citizens had visa-free or visa-free on arrival access to 161 countries and territories, ranking the Barbadian passport first in the Caribbean. It has visa-free travel to not only the Schengen countries, but also one of the few countries in the Caribbean still having visa-free travel to Canada as well. Barbados has a GDP per capita of around $18,148 a year. Barbadian law allows their citizens to hold dual citizenship. All right, in this video, I'm going to give you the advantages and disadvantages of getting residency by investment in Barbados. If you're currently making at least $150,000 US a year and or have a net worth of at least 1 million US, and you want to learn how to legally get your taxes to zero or how to get a second passport in as quick as 3 months, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. All right, now taxes on personal income is as follows. An individual who is both resident and domiciled in Barbados is taxed on his worldwide income. Now, an individual who's resident but not domiciled in Barbados is taxed on income derived from Barbados and on income from any other sources outside of Barbados to the extent that a benefit is obtained in Barbados. In general, a non-resident is taxed only on income arising in Barbados and is not entitled to personal deductions against the income. The Barbados dollar is called the Bunjin dollar. 1 US dollar equals 2 Bunjin dollars. Now, the personal income tax rate are as follows. The basic rate is 12.5%, and then there's a higher rate at 28.5%. The basic rate applies to the first Barbadian 50,000 of taxable income, which is roughly around 25,000 US. And then you have another bracket of 28.5% applies to taxable income above the Bunjin 50,000, which is roughly 25,000 US. And if you want to convert these figures in US dollars, you just cut those figures in half. That's the easiest way to do it. All right, now the corporate tax rate on taxable income is quite a bit lower. It's a lot lower. The way it works is it's 5.5% on the first 1 million Barbadian dollars or Bunjin dollars, and then 3% on $1 million and $1 to Barbadian 20 million Barbadian dollars, and then you've got at 2.5% on Barbadian dollars up to the range runs from 20 million and $1 to 30 million Barbadian dollars, and then it drops even further at 1% on amounts that exceed a Barbadian 30 million. In other words, these figures actually run in difference than the U.S. because the U.S. rates actually run higher the higher the brackets are higher the more money you make. Here, the brackets actually drop. The rate for an insurance company may vary in respect to 3 classifications of the licenses, depending on which license you actually have. All right, now there is a sales tax rate of 17.5%. There's a Social Security tax rate of 23.85%, and of this Social Security total amount of 23.85%, 12.75% is paid by the company, and 11.10% is paid by the employee. Now, Barbados has a high standard of health care, which is easily accessible to all. The main government hospital, which is called the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, has 600 beds, offers specialized care in areas such as pediatrics, obstetrics, plastic surgery, radiology, and other types of services they provide there. There are also about 8 government polyclinics providing free medical treatment for minor ailments, 5 geriatric hospitals for care of the elderly, and then you've got a network of child care facilities. And in addition to the public health care facilities, there are several private clinics across the island. All right, now the citizenship works like this. The Constitution allows for acquisition of citizenship by descent, registration, naturalization, and acts of Parliament. Section 5 of the Constitution states that children born outside of Barbados to most men who are citizens of Barbados are Barbadian citizens. The non-Commonwealth citizens may apply to the Minister for Naturalization if they fulfill certain requirements, such as residing in Barbados for 5 of 7 years prior to application and all 12 months prior to the application, or any 12 continuous months within 6 months of the application, contingent upon the minister's approval, and intends to reside in Barbados thereafter and swears allegiance to the Queen of Barbados. Now, Barbados residence by investment works like this. Barbados offers a residence by investment program to foreign investors looking to relocate to the beautiful Caribbean island. The Barbados Special Entry and Resident Permit is also called SERP, S-E-R-P, provides permanent residence to property investors investing at least $2 million US. Now, this was introduced back in 2012. The SERP makes it easy for high net worth individuals to relocate to Barbados. Now, there are several categories of persons who can qualify for the SERP. One is an individual who invests $2 million US in Barbados, either by acquiring a residential property or other investments in Barbados that are purchased with funds sourced outside the island, is eligible for a SERP for 5 years. Now, another option is an individual who has a net worth of at least $5 million US and invests at least $2 million US in Barbados, either by acquiring a residential property or other investments in Barbados purchased with funds sourced outside the island. Now, the lengths of permit for those eligible for SERP are as follows. One way is an individual who is over 60 years of age can obtain a SERP for an indefinite period. Also, an individual who is under 60 years old will be granted a SERP for the period that will take the individual up to age 60, and thereafter it can be indefinite. And then another option is to an individual with special skills will be eligible for SERP in 5 years. And then you have spouses and dependents that are under 18 or in full-time education will be granted the same status as a SERP holder. Now, I'm going to give you my evaluation on this program, and it is as follows. The Barbados passport actually has the best passport in the Caribbean, as I mentioned before, having slightly more countries than St. Kitts as far as visa-free travel goes, and not only having visa-free travel to the Schengen countries, but also Canada, but does not include the USA and Australia. But I do love the fact this country allows dual citizenship and is an English-speaking country. That's a big thing to me. Income taxes on income made outside of Barbados can be controlled if your domicile is kept outside of Barbados, but this could also be a negative because this could also affect you from possibly getting the passport down the road. The residency by investment amounts are very high, but the reason this is because the passport is so good. Now, Barbados has toyed in the past about coming out with a citizenship by investment program similar to the St. Kitts and Nevis program, but it's been knocked down because the locals feel like they might lose their great visa-free travel if some bad characters get into the passport and citizenship program, and then they lose their visa-free travel to Canada, like what happened to St. Kitts and Antigua several years ago. Now, the things I like about St. Kitts passport that Barbados does not offer is a person can get a St. Kitts passport in 4 to 6 months instead of having to wait for 5 years before you can apply, such as in the case with Barbados. But I can tell you, you're not going to get it in 5 years. I know how the Caribbean works. It's going to take you 6 to 8 years to get the actual Barbados passport because I know how slow things happen in the Caribbean. And even then, there's no guarantee you'll get the passport even after that time period. This is the problem I've mentioned before with residency by investment programs versus citizenship by investment programs. They're slow. In some cases, you never get the passport. Now, also, St. Kitts investment requirement, if you go with the property option, has a minimum requirement of $200,000 US plus some government fees and other fees that would be, under, depending on the size of the family, basically around under $75,000 US. But with Barbados, you're looking at $2 million US just on the investment alone. And that's not a citizenship by investment. Again, it's a residency by investment, and you're paying a lot more for that program. Barbados also has an internal income tax, and St. Kitts, being a pure tax haven, does not. These are key things that you have to look at because that can save you a lot of money in income taxes. If you're making at least $150,000 US a year and or have a net worth of at least $1 million US and you want to learn how to legally get your taxes to zero or how to get a second passport in as quick as 3 months, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button to the right of your screen here and you'll get new videos as they come out automatically. And don't forget to hit the notification bell next to the subscription button. And number two is I'd like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below and I'll see what I can do and help solving whatever problem you got. And number three is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and hit the top bar of any page where it says apply with us, and then fill out those questions, and then hit that bar on the bottom of the questionnaire form that says send it to us so we can get back to you. We deal with a lot of citizenship by investment and residency by investment countries I think you'd be interested in learning about all over the world, and I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.